In the quiet of the night, something large can fly right above you, and you wouldn't hear a thing. Not because it's far away, but because it has mastered the art of silent flight. Owls are surprisingly big birds, yet they move through the air almost without a sound. While most birds create noticeable wing noises, owls glide through the darkness like ghosts. How is that even possible? Let's uncover the fascinating science behind one of nature's quietest hunters, right here on History of Simple Things. Flying is actually a noisy activity. When a bird flaps its wings, it pushes against the air to create lift. That motion disturbs the air around the wings, producing turbulence, tiny chaotic air movements that create sound. That's why when pigeons fly overhead, you can clearly hear the flap of their wings. Ducks are even louder when they take off, beating the air rapidly as they gain altitude. For most birds, that noise isn't a big problem. But for owls, it would be a serious disadvantage. Owls are primarily nocturnal hunters. They hunt in the dark, when many animals rely heavily on their hearing to detect danger. A mouse or a small rodent might not see a predator coming, but if it hears wings rushing through the air, it still has a chance to escape. At first glance, owl wings don't look dramatically different from those of other birds. But when scientists examined them closely, they discovered several unique features that dramatically reduce noise. These features are found directly in the feathers themselves. Each one plays a role in controlling how air flows over the wings. Together, they transform what would normally be a noisy process into something almost completely silent. The first unusual feature appears at the front edge of the wing, also called the leading edge. If you look closely at an owl feather, you'll notice tiny comb-like structures along this edge. They look like small teeth or serrations. Most birds have smooth feather edges, but owls have these special structures that break incoming air into many smaller streams. Why does this matter? Because large, turbulent air currents produce louder sound. By splitting the airflow into smaller, gentler currents, the owl reduces turbulence before it even forms. In simple terms, the air becomes smoother and quieter as it passes over the wing. It's like turning one loud gust of wind into many tiny whispers. Another fascinating feature is the texture of owl feathers. Unlike the stiff feathers of many birds, owl feathers feel extremely soft, almost like velvet. This softness comes from microscopic hair-like filaments covering the surface of the feather. These structures help absorb sound and dampen vibrations caused by air moving across the wings. Think of it like acoustic foam in a music studio. Instead of reflecting sound, the material absorbs it and prevents echoes. The owl's feathers perform a similar function, reducing the noise created during flight, so even if small vibrations occur, the feathers help silence them before they become audible. The final key feature appears at the back edge of the wing, known as the trailing edge. In most birds, the edges of feathers are relatively straight, but in owls, these edges are soft and slightly frayed or fringed. When air leaves the wing, these fringes break the airflow into smaller streams, preventing sudden pressure changes that normally create sound. In other words, the air doesn't rush off the wing abruptly. It slips away smoothly and quietly. This combination of serrated fronts, velvety surfaces, and fringed edges makes owl wings incredibly effective at suppressing noise. These feather adaptations allow owls to approach their prey almost undetected. Imagine a small mouse searching for food under leaves in the middle of the night. Its ears are constantly listening for danger. Foxes walking, snakes rustling, or birds swooping down. Most predators make some kind of sound when they move, but an owl gliding above creates almost none. The mouse might hear nothing until the owl's talons strike. That silence gives owls one of the most powerful advantages a predator can have: surprise. And in the wild, surprise often means survival. Another factor that helps owls stay quiet is their wing shape. Owls have relatively large wings compared to their body size. This gives them a low wing loading, meaning they can stay in the air while flying more slowly. Slower flight produces less turbulence and therefore less noise. Instead of flapping rapidly, owls often combine gentle wing beats with smooth gliding. The result is a steady, silent motion through the night air. If you could watch an owl in slow motion, you'd see that its wings move in wide, controlled strokes, rather than quick, forceful flaps. Everything about its flight is built for stealth. The silent flight of owls has fascinated scientists and engineers for years. Researchers studying owl feathers discovered that their unique structures could inspire quieter machines. For example, wind turbine blades sometimes use serrated edges similar to owl feathers to reduce the noise created by spinning blades. Engineers have also experimented with owl-inspired designs in airplane wings, cooling fans, and ventilation systems. The goal is the same: reduce turbulence and make airflow quieter. It's a powerful reminder that nature often solves engineering problems long before humans even recognize them. So the next time you hear an owl calling somewhere in the dark, remember that it might not be perched far away. It could have glided silently through the air just moments earlier, completely unheard, all because of a few remarkable feather adaptations that turned ordinary wings into nature's perfect silencers. And it all started with a simple question: why do owls fly so quietly? Sometimes, the simplest questions reveal the most fascinating answers. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.